What is up, you mad dogs? UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopes 2 will go down this weekend. And this is my full card prediction and breakdown video. I'm smiling over here because I'm going to be attending the event this weekend. I will be there in person. I cannot fucking wait, boys. I cannot wait. We're going to go down on Thursday, check out the press conference, check out the weigh-ins, see what else is happening around the arena. Maybe fucking go around Sydney a bit, check out the zoo. You never know, you never know. But yeah, most importantly, I'm looking forward to these fights. We went down there last year for UFC 312, and this card's shaping up to be a bit of a better card than that one. So, man, I'm just fucking so excited. And I cannot wait. Cannot wait till Sunday. Cannot wait. I'm going to break down the full card, bottom to top. I will also break down the Road to UFC finals, which will start the card on the early prelims. I'm going to try and smash through them, though. I know people aren't really trying to sit here and watch my in-depth predictions for the Road to UFC finals, okay? They're kind of regional fights. I know there's probably not a lot of people that really give a fuck. So we'll smash through them. And without further ado, let's jump into the first one of the night. Aaron Tao versus Namsrai Batbayar. I'm going to side with Aaron Tao here. I think he gets it done by decision. I could maybe see a knockout, possibly. But being in the flyweight division, I'm going to side with the decision. Tao's a bit of a brawler. Very wild, aggressive, forward pressure style. He will mix in the grappling at times. But his bread and butter is really the striking, wild, overhands, hooks, in your face kind of style. Very aggressive, as he looks. And yeah, coming up against Namsrai Batbayar. He's a decent grappler. He's got some good grappling, good BJJ. So there could be a threat there on the ground if it gets there. Like I said, Tao can mix in the grappling, but it's not his strong suit. If there is any success for Batbayar, I would say it will be in the grappling. Possibly a submission threat there, but I'm going to bank on Aaron Tao here coming out of CKB. I feel like he's getting those better looks. Yeah, nothing more to say about this one. Aaron Tao by decision, that's my pick. We're going to smash through these ones. I have to do them. But we'll smash through them. Lawrence Lui versus Sulangranbo. I'm going to go with Lawrence Lui. Another prospect out of CKB. Coming up against Sulangranbo. He's a very young prospect. Wild. Very powerful hands. A pretty decent prospect, to be honest. He's I think he's the cousin of Sumedawaji. And yeah, I'm going to go with Lawrence Lui. I think he'll get it done by decision. He's got a bit of a weird, like upright, very upright, high guard kind of stance. Not what you would normally see coming out of CKB, but he makes it work. A lot of forward pressure. And I think just being the older fighter, I think he's going to have more experience. He doesn't have as many pro fights, but he did come through the eternal MMA scene at one point. And yeah, not much to say on this one. Lawrence Lui by decision. That's my pick. On to the next fight. Keiichiro Nakamura versus Sebastian Szalay. I'm going to go with Keiichiro Nakamura here, okay? I think he can get it done by decision. I can maybe see a knockout, but probably not. He's a very rangy striker, wide base. Yeah, good with the straight shots. Very good with the straight shots. He has got a lot of knockouts on his resume, but if you look at the opponents that he's knocking out, they're not the greatest. So that needs to be said. Sebastian Szalay, coming out of Australia. He's fought in Eternal MMA. And look, he's a decent prospect. So this is really hard. This one was really hard for me to make a final prediction on. He's a bit of a decision merchant. I'm talking about Szalay here. A bit of a decision merchant. Doesn't have that much finishing potential. He did get a knockout in his last fight early on. Showed the power in the hands. Bit of an in-close brawler. Wants to work in the pocket. Make it messy. Whereas Keiichiro, He's going to be looking to keep the distance, attack at range, use those long shots, use those teeps, jabs, straights. And yeah, one problem I do have with Nakamura though is distance control isn't that good. Sometimes he crashes in and finds himself out of place. So perhaps I could see him getting caught on one of those entries and maybe getting put out. Either way, I'll be happy to be wrong here because Szalay's an Aussie. I'm going to be backing all the boys on the weekend. I'll be supporting all the boys no matter who I've picked. I'll still be hoping that the Aussies are winning no matter what. So, yeah. But Nakamura is my pick for the fight. On to the last one of the road to UFC finals. I don't know why I said it like that. Sang Wook Kim versus Don Ma Fan. This is another one that was a little bit tough for me to make a final choice on, but I am going to go with Don Ma Fan here. His only 2 losses come by submission, both to Quillan Salkilld. So we all know who Quillan Salkilld is now. Fighting higher up on the card, fighting on the main card. So that's nothing to turn up your nose to. Sang Wook Kim. They can both grapple. They both like to grapple. Fan, he's got alright kickboxing. Uses good kicks. Pretty powerful. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Fan, he's the younger fighter here. And yeah, Don Ma Fan, he's a pretty decent prospect on the rise. I don't think he'll go too far in the UFC, but I'm going to pick him to win this fight. Initially, I had Sang Wook Kim, but looking further into it, I think Don Ma Fan can have the edge here because he is a pretty good grappler, to be fair, and he can mix it up well enough. I think this will be a decent fight, to be honest. I think this will be a fun one. And yeah, that's the end of the Road to UFC finals. On to the actual UFC fights. First one we have is Kaan Ofli versus Zhi Ya. It's hard. It's really hard to pick against the Aussies, guys. It's really hard to just pick against the Aussies, but I'm going to go with Zhi Ya here. Kaan Ofli, he's really going to be banking on the grappling control and submission threat, where Zhi Ya, he can mix it up well. He's got decent striking, decent power in the hands, and he can grapple too. He's got submissions of his own. His takedown defense is a little bit questionable at times though, so perhaps we can see Kaan Ofli win rounds with control and possibly damage from top. But I feel like Zhi Ya is the more well-rounded. He's had a lot more fights professionally, and I feel like that might be pretty important here. Look, nothing crazy, but I feel like he can do enough here to get a decision win. I feel like his grappling is going to be good enough to defend the threat of Kaan Ofli. But yeah, Zhi Ya, maybe we could see a knockout. Kaan Ofli was knocked out by Mayron Santos, but that's a different bucket of fish. Mayron Santos is a serious striker, whereas Zhi Ya is more of a well-rounded, he can do it all kind of thing. Not crazy in one area, but gets it done, you know? Experienced. I'm going to bank on the experience here. Zhi Ya will get it done by decision. That's my pick. On to the next fight of the night. Jonathan Micallef versus Oban Elliot. This is a fucking tough fight to pick. This was a tough fight to pick once again. I'm going to go with Jonathan Micallef. Look, we're going to go with an Aussie. We're going with the Aussie. I feel like in Oban's last fight against Sang Wook, pretty sure it was, he got out-grappled pretty bad. He was a big favorite in that fight, and Sang Wook, I think it might have been a short notice. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Oban, he's coming off that decision loss to Sang Wook, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's probably the better striker here. Micallef, he can mix it up. He's got good grappling, good submission threat, and he does all right on the feet. He's got very powerful kicks. He was smashing heavy body kicks against Kevin Jesse in his debut last year. I mean, I feel like I could see a bit of a similarity here in Micallef to Oban's last fight, where there is a grappling threat and also a bit of a power threat when it comes to the striking. Oban just seemed to be a little bit too worried about the power of KO in that last fight, and that just caused him to he just couldn't defend anything. He just kind of got ran through, dog walked, fucking out grappled, everything. I mean, shit, it wasn't the worst, but it didn't look good, you know? It didn't look good. And I feel like Micallef is a pretty decent prospect on the rise here. He does have one knockout loss on his career earlier in the regional scene. So maybe we could see Oban put some hands together, put some kicks together, piece him up a bit. I feel like the threat here for Micallef is Oban keeping the fight on the feet and outstriking him in numbers. Maybe not so much damage, but more in volume, you know. I feel like that's the threat here, but I think Micallef can do enough to cause damage on the feet with these big kicks and mix in the grappling and threaten submissions here and there. I don't think he'll get a submission. I think he'll win this fight by decision. But I feel like Micallef has more of an opportunity to mix it up here. Even though Oban can do good on the clinch, he does use a lot of clinch to slow down fights at times and steal rounds with damage. But I don't see that happening here. I'm going to go with Micallef by decision. That is my pick for this fight. On to the next fight. Fucking hell. The amount of fights I've sat here and fence sit for this breakdown is insane. I don't know if it's just because I'm like excited that I'm going to the fights and I'm like can't settle down while I'm trying to fucking break this shit down. But I've been back and forth on so many of these fights, and this is another one. Jacob Malkoun versus Torrez Finney. Torrez, the fucking weighted blanket Finney. Criminal of the sport. Absolute criminal of the sport. If you watched his last fight, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Look, I'll start with Malkoun. He's got good grappling, good BJJ. His striking's fine. Fair enough. He's got some decent boxing. He does have some pro boxing bouts. He's not super dangerous by any means. He doesn't have like a crazy finishing threat. He is coming off a knockout win to Andre Petrosky. It's one of the weirdest fucking knockouts ever. Petrosky shot him for a takedown and I guess hit his head on Malkoun's hip and yeah, went down and that was it. Malkoun smashed him with a big body kick and that was that. Torrez Finney coming off that decision win to Robert Valentin. Just absolute piss take. Absolute piss take of a fight. Did everything he absolutely could to avoid standing with Valentin, avoid any damage taken whatsoever. I know that's the point of a fight. A good thing is to not be hit, but the way he did it is just fucking criminal of the sport, okay? Oh, man, I think Malkoun's the better all-round fighter, but I just... I've picked Malkoun to win this fight, but I cannot get the idea of Torrez Finney just fucking wet blanketing Malkoun, power fucking charging takedowns on Malkoun. I know Malkoun has good grappling and he can probably defend it, but I cannot get this fucking image out of my head of Torrez Finney just smashing his way through a takedown and fucking heavy blanketing his way to a decision win, you know? I just cannot get that thought out of my head. I want to say like maybe he gets the fucking ground and pound victory, but oh man, I don't fucking know with this fight, boys. I don't fucking know with this fight. My mind is playing games with me here. I want to pick Malkoun. I feel like on paper and from what we've seen, he is the better fighter. But he's not that great, you know? So it makes it hard. And Finney does have really good wrestling. I'm picking Torrez Finney. I'm picking Torrez Finney to win this fight. Ah, fucking hell. I didn't want to do that. I can't make this personal, guys. I cannot make it personal. I'm picking Torrez Finney to win this fight. I think he'll get it done by decision. He's going to get it done by decision. I can maybe see a ground and pound knockout at some point in the fight, but oh, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Torrez Finney by decision. That's my pick for the fight. Blob fucking heavy blanket decision. Is what it is. Next fight of the night. I'm pretty excited for this one. I think this is going to be a pretty good fight. Cam Rowston versus Cody Brundage. The battle giraffe. Let's fucking go. I'm going to go with Cam Rowston here. I want to say that Cam Rowston, I was thinking knockout. I was thinking knockout originally. I feel like that's a very high possibility that Cam Rowston will win this fight by knockout. But with Cody Brundage's wrestling, I feel like I can see Cam Rowston rocking Brundage here with one of those rangy shots. Brundage shoots in for a takedown, sticks his head into a submission and gets tapped out. That's going to be my pick. I think Cam Rowston can win this fight by submission. I'm going to say he gets it done in the first round. Or do I want to say a second round? Now we're going to go Cam Rowston by submission in the first round. I feel like he's going to have success on the feet with his rangy striking. Cody Brundage has shown to have a bit of a lack of durability. He can come out hard in the first round, but he's been rocked. He's been rocked around the boat a few times, you know? So I can see that happening again here. I can definitely see a knockout happening. But I'm going to lean the side of submission. I'm going to say Cam Rowston rocks him. Brundage shoots him for a takedown or something like that. And yeah, sticks his head into a submission. First round submission for Cam Rowston. That's my pick for this fight. For the feature prelim of the night, Junior Tafa versus Billy Elekana. The days where I picked Junior Tafa to win a fight stops right here. I got to pick Billy Elekana to win this fight. Look, Junior Tafa, good kickboxer, great power in the hands, put your lights out. He puts together some good striking. But there is a serious hole in his game, and that is the wrestling, the grappling, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's too big of a hole. It's too big of a hole, and I cannot pick him to win this fight because Billy Elekana is a well-rounded MMA fighter, and he can grapple, he can strike, he can do it all. And I think he's going to be able to work this fight to the ground at some point and tie up a submission. I want to say he does it in the second round of the fight. I feel like maybe we could get a pretty exciting first round out of this. And then possibly see maybe Tafa gets a bit tired. Elekana finds a shot, puts some hands on him, gets him to the floor and chases a submission, locks him up. I just see how that's how this fight's going to go. yeah, there's just the holes in the grappling. It's too much for me to keep picking Junior Tafa to win fights. Tuco Tokos was the final straw, okay? Tuco Tokos was the fucking final straw for me. I can't do it anymore, I'm sorry. I hope I don't get slimed out in Sydney for saying this shit, but it is what it is. Billy Elekana by submission in the second round. That's my pick for this fight. And now we move on to the main card of the evening. This fight doesn't want to open. That's okay. We'll just look at it in the short view, I guess. Quillan Salkilld versus Jamie Mullarkey. I don't think I'm going to need long on this one. I feel like predictors out there are very much on the same page here. Quillan Salkilld by knockout. Round 1. Yep, that's what I'm going with. Surprise, surprise. Who guessed it? Yeah. Quillan Salkilld by knockout in the first round. That's my pick. Jamie Mullarkey's chin is gone. It's gone. It's not there anymore. We can't find it. He put some posters out. You know, you put posters out for your missing cat. Yeah, I've seen him like all through Australia. Where's my chin? Where's my chin? It's gone. It's not coming back, and it sucks to see because he is a veteran, an Australian veteran of MMA, and he's had a long career, but the chin's not there anymore, boys. The chin is not there anymore, and he's coming up against, I think a lot of people know who Quillan Salkilld is. Upcoming prospect. 2 spectacular knockouts last year. 1 very insane head kick that had Namsrai Akbaras fucking tremoring, you know. I still watch that shit to this day and go, wow, unfucking believable. I'm very much looking forward to see where Quillan Salkilld goes in his career. It's unfortunate that the fight with Rongju got, you know, pulled out and Jamie Mullarkey had to replace, because I feel like that would have been a good little scrap and not so much of an easy pick to make. I know it's MMA and anything can happen, but I feel like there's a lot of people on the same page here. Quillan Salkilld by knockout in the first round. That's my pick for this fight. And we will go on. Fuck. Oh, shit. I'd love to pick Bam Bam here. I really would. I would really love to pick Bam Bam in this fight, but I cannot do it. Heavyweight bout. Tuivasa out for a number of years. 5-fight losing streak. Coming up against the 6'7" Tallison Teixeira, Brazilian prospect. He's coming off a knockout loss to Derek Lewis. A little bit of a weird stoppage, has to be said. But he did get clocked. Did get rocked and sent to the ground. I just feel like the time off for Tuivasa is too long here. I'm looking forward to see the weigh-ins for this fight. I'd like to see how Bam Bam's pulling up. Maybe I'll change my prediction come weigh-ins. Never know. If he looks good, I might just swap my fucking pick on this one. But I'm going to go with Tallison Teixeira by knockout. I say he gets it done. I'm going to say he gets it done in the first round. Yeah, look, I just feel like the sheer size, it's going to be very noticeable. 6'2" to 6'7", it's going to be pretty big, and that reach is insane at 83 inches. Yeah. I don't think there needs to be much more said about this fight. Tallison Teixeira by knockout. I hope I'm fucking wrong. I'm a big fucking fan of Bam Bam. Obviously, got to be being out of Australia. This is the Tony Ferguson downfall that we didn't want. We didn't want or need, okay? I hope I'm wrong, but Tallison Teixeira is my pick for that fight. On to the next fight. Oh, fuck. This is going to be sick, I reckon. This is going to be an awesome fight. I'm going to go with Mauricio Rufy. I know there's a lot of people going with Rafael Fiziev here. And I get it. I do get it. Recently, he showed improvement in the grappling and the Gaethje and the Ignacio fight. And yeah, before that, mostly a Muay Thai striker, very quick. Not insanely powerful, but very fast, very technical. Very good kicks. All round, a very good fighter. He's a little bit small for the division. And that's why I'm going to probably lean to the side of Mauricio Rufy. Also adding on to the fact that Rufy is a very technical, precise, just all round unorthodox, but really fucking fun to watch fighter. Very good striker. Yeah. I know he got fraud checked. But it was to Benoit Saint Denis, who is a very good grappler. Rafael Fiziev does not have that grappling pedigree. Now, he's swapped gyms. Mauricio Rufy, I'm talking about. He's swapped gyms. Not with the Fighting Nerds anymore. He's been training with Volk. So that's got to be good. He's getting in those good looks. I know the Fighting Nerds is a great gym. So I'm not trying to say that it's great that he's left. But I just feel like we've seen Rafael Fiziev drop before in the Gaethje fight. I feel like Rufy can do the same. He's a very technical, very precise, Conor McGregor-esque striker, very wide base. Turns over that shoulder so well for the straight down the pipe. I just think he's going to be able to find the mark. I want to say he gets a finish. I want to say we see a Mauricio Rufy knockout. I know that might be a bit of a crazy take. I feel like decision's probably more likely. And I don't know though, because I feel like Fiziev might actually be winning this fight, and then in a close way. But then I could see Rufy catching him into the second or the third round. We've seen that his power translates into the second and the third round. Look, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and say Rafael Fiziev is winning this fight. And in the second round, he gets dashed by a straight right down the pipe or something like that. Maybe a big uppercut. I feel like, I think that's what Gaethje got him with. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to say Mauricio Rufy, round 2 knockout over Rafael Fiziev. And I feel like Fiziev will be winning the fight at first before the shot. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be very close. And I think it'll be a very fun fight. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. Mauricio Rufy by knockout is the pick. I cannot wait. I cannot fucking wait. And we are on to the co-main event of the evening. I feel like Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint Denis. I can't get Benoit Saint Denis strangling Dan Hooker out of my head. I can't not see it happening. I feel like I don't know. I don't know what to say about this one. Dan Hooker obviously is a good striker, very rangy, good with the long rangy strikes, teeps, straights, jabs. And Benoit Saint Denis, he's not like the best striker in the world. He's a little bit slower, on the slower side, but he's very powerful. He's a marauder, as fucking Joe Rogan would say. He's a fucking marauder. And he's just going to come forward, non-stop pressure, brute fucking force. He will chase the takedowns. He's ex-French Berets, which is like the fucking Navy SEALs equivalent. This dude's a fucking weapon. I know he got fucking slept by Dustin Poirier, and I know he got fucking TKO'd by what's his name? Fucking what, I forget. Moicano. Jesus Christ. But look, I don't see that happening in this fight. I think he's going to be able to get this fight to the ground. I think we maybe see Dan Hooker jump a couple of guillotines like he was doing against Arman Sarukian. I don't think that's the best idea because I feel like it's just a quicker way to get him to the ground. BSD can defend that and find his own good positions and chase a submission. I can see this fight ending in a round 2 submission. I'm going to say round 2 submission by BSD. I can see it happening in the first, but I feel like Dan Hooker is good. He's durable. He is durable. Even though he'll get rocked in pretty much every single one of his fights, he won't give up. That's the words I'm looking for. He won't give up. Just out of nowhere. He'll fight until he can't fight no more. And that's why we love Dan Hooker, okay? That's why we love Dan Hooker. I am going to be cheering Dan Hooker on in this one. I really would like to see him win this. I just don't think he will. Like I said, I'll be cheering for all the Aussies on this card. No matter who I've picked, I could give a fuck about the picks. If all the Aussies win, I'll be fucking happy, alright? And with that being said, fuck. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. I've even got the shirt on. I've even got the fucking Volkanovski shirt on. I picked Alexander Volkanovski to win the first fight, and I was very confident in that pick. He wins the first fight in spectacular fashion. 4 rounds to 1. Just outdoing Diego Lopes in every way possible. I don't know if that happens again. I don't think he does it again. I've got an itch. I got an itch and I can't fucking quite scratch it, you know? I can't quite scratch the itch that Diego Lopes will win this fight by finish. Look, we all know these two. Alexander Volkanovski, GOAT of the flyweight division. Needs to be said. One of the best flyweights to ever do it, if not the best. I'm going to have him at the top of my featherweight GOAT list. I don't think he wins this fight, man. I hope I'm so fucking wrong. I hope I'm so fucking wrong with this. But I just feel like the age, it's right there. It is right there. And those knockout losses weren't that long ago. I know he got through Diego last time. But watching that fight back, I feel like Diego, I feel like he felt the pressure of the moment. He was being very, very patient. A lot more patient than what he would normally be. And I feel like that just caused him to fall behind in the earlier rounds. I know he dropped him late in the second. And that in itself was a pretty close round up until that point. But yeah, I just feel like he's going to come into this one a whole lot more confident. The weight of the moment is not going to be on there. He knows what it's like to be in there with Volkanovski. He knows he can drop him. He knows that his hands are enough to put him out. He just needs to find the shot. And I think if he comes in and he tries to make it a bit more of a brawl, make it a bit more messy, knock him fucking down, you know. That wasn't the words I was looking for. That's why, fuck, I don't want to see this. And that's why I'm going to go with Diego Lopes by submission. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to watch Volk get fucking put out cold. Because Diego Lopes is going to submit Volk. That's what I've written. That's what I've written down in my prediction. I don't know if I'm trying to tell myself away that this happens. I feel like Lopes can crack him, get on top and chase a sub. He does have good BJJ. we've seen Volkanovski escape the deepest of the deep submissions. The fucking deepest guillotine possible from Brian Ortega. We've seen him get out of that. I don't think Diego Lopes has better BJJ than Brian Ortega, but for some reason, there is something telling me that Diego Lopes is going to win this fight by submission. I either see it, like I said, Diego rocking him, jumping on top, jumping for a sub, or possibly rocking him. Volk tries to mix in a takedown and possibly puts himself into a guillotine. I feel like it's going to be one of those two. I feel like it's going to be a finish either way. But I'm going to lean the side of submission. That might be a hopeful pick. I just want to say that. That might be a hopeful pick in hopes that I don't have to see Volk get knocked out live in person. I hope I'm so fucking wrong. I hope you can all laugh at me for being so fucking wrong on this pick. But I just can't get this image out of my head. And I couldn't just make this video and pick Volk as a biased pick with that thought in my head, you know? So that's that. That's my pick for the fight. The main fight of the night. Diego Lopes will get this one done by submission. And he's going to do it in the second round. Let's fucking oge, boys. Oh, man, I'm so fucking excited for this. Hopefully, I don't have to see Volk get knocked out. Hopefully, I don't have to see Bam Bam get knocked out. Even though those are my fucking picks. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But, oh, man. I am looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this very much. I don't know what I'll be able to do for content down there. I might try and get some fucking snaps and shit. See what we can get working. Maybe meet some fighters. Who knows? Who knows? That'd be pretty cool. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching if you got to this point. I very much appreciate it if you're on board for these picks. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Ciao, amigos.